Hello, I'm Christina with The Turned Leg. I love to salvage, repurpose, and create and help others to do the same. I'm also a booth owner and I have a booth at an antique mall, and I've created a whole bunch of videos to help others that maybe want to start an antique booth or have an antique booth. Today, the topic is displays, and I think one of the hardest things about having a booth is setting up a display and getting the right display to hold the items that you want. So today I'm going to provide a little inspiration for some cool displays that I've seen, and I'm also going to create a new display cabinet for my booth and give you some tips and tricks. I hope you find this helpful. Let's get started. Before I show you my new display for my booth and how I put it all together, let's take a look at some booth display inspiration. We're going to visit Plaza Antiques and Collectibles Mall in Lincoln Park, Michigan, where I have my booth space too. When you have a booth, displays are important, and so is shelving. And adding just some basic shelves into your booth can help you put more items in it. But there are so many other choices for display in your booth. This booth has a display cabinet, it uses shelving, it uses bookcases. Let's take a look at a few other booths and see how they're organizing their displays. Check out this simple display created from salvage using old shutters and scrap wood. I have also created a display in my booth using salvage. If you want to watch the video, you can click on the link above. Bookcases also work great in booths and are nice and sturdy. Make sure to attach them to walls or to each other. One of my favorite shelving units in my booth is this metal shelf. To dress it up a bit, I just added some scrap wood that I stained a dark color. Vintage display racks are also fun to use. Don't forget to think outside the box and put your shelving on the outside space of your booth so more people passing by can see it. Ladders also make great sturdy shelving. Old spindles work great too, and anything you can do to raise up your display to eye level. Are you enjoying this video? If so, click the like button and subscribe. Also, if you click the bell, you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. It really helps me to continue to grow my channel to help others to salvage, repurpose, and create. It's one of the last nice days I think we're gonna get this year in Michigan, so ignore the sun hat. I have a project to work on that I just found, and I'm dying to show you it. Sometimes the universe just aligns. I have been looking for a new display for my booth at Plaza Antiques, and I just received a message in my inbox from one of my followers asking me if I might need this lovely piece that they spotted curbside. I have affectionately given the term junk army to all like-minded people that love to save old things, and one of my junk army members really came through on this piece. What a gorgeous hutch. It will be a perfect display once I do a few things to get it ready. Sometimes I will repaint or refinish a piece. This piece needs very little work. I love the chippy aged patina on this beauty. Also, an important tip, if you're creating a display for your booth, you really will not need those pesky cabinet doors. That way you can display even more items. Make sure to remove the hardware too. The first step to get this display ready, of course, was to give it a good scrubbing using Dawn dish soap and water. I also wanted to even out the white paint on the inside and make it look more uniform. An easy way to achieve this is to use my DeWalt orbital sander and 220 grit sandpaper. I have to admit I was surprised. When I started sanding, it became more white, and I had to distress even more to get back to the wood underneath. On the sides, I thought we needed a little bit more of a whitewashed finish so that the hutch would match. So for this project, I decided to use Sweet Pickins oil wax in white. This is a stain and top coat in one. For more information on how I use this product, you can click on the link to the video above. If you would like to purchase this product, you can go to my online store at shoptheturnedleg.com. The oil wax added the perfect amount of white to match the piece. It also gave an extra coat of top coat and protection. This hutch came without shelves, but that is an easy solution. I just figured out how long the shelves needed to be, and I checked my wood pile. Having scrap wood comes in handy for times like this. I gave time for the oil wax to dry overnight, and the next morning it was time to take this piece to my booth at Plaza Antiques and Collectibles Mall in Lincoln Park, Michigan. This is the area where I'm planning the new display. The windows behind it do not allow me really to easily hang anything, so I can gain more square footage by adding a display in. First step is to clear the area before I bring in the new display. Okay, now for the fun part. Let's see how the display is going to look in its new space. So you might be asking yourself, why am I putting this piece in my booth? If you remember from my last video, and I'll put a link here, what sells in my booth, smalls are key to making good sales in my booth, and many of you also said you agree to that. So by having a display like this, I'm adding in a whole bunch more smalls to help me with my rent. The display is done. Well, almost. Is anything really done in your booth? I was noticing looking at the display that it really could use some lighting. I was hoping I could just slide over some of the existing lighting in my booth to the new display case, but none of my options would reach. The good news is the top of my display already had a hole in it for a new light, but there are fire code restrictions to my booth. I cannot put a light in that is on an extension cord. It needs to directly plug in, and that means that the cord needs to be over 20 feet long. So it was time to search Amazon. This is what I found that will work. At least for now. I will put a link to this item in the description box below. Besides adding lighting to the display, I also added some hardware. It's really important to add these finishing touches. It makes everything just look so much better. The light is in, and I have to admit, it's not perfect. I need some more items to secure it up a little bit better. But for now, this is what I have, and as I said, give yourself grace in your booth. Not everything is always going to be completely finished. It's always a work in progress. but I am so happy with my new display. Let me know in the comments below what you think of it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it's helped you think about displays and maybe get a little inspiration for your own booth. If you have good ideas for displays in your booth and you'd like to share them with everyone else, please comment down below. You guys have been so helpful in previous videos. Now get out there to salvage, repurpose, and create.